Well, good day to you. I can't say good morning because I'm not quite sure when you'll be listening to this recording. Probably not at our usual 9:30 hour on Thursday. I had to begin with some music, which, as our tradition has been, I'll explain just in a couple of moments. But I wanted just to have a short lecture for today. I won't run this the full time, just to catch you up on some details to do with how we'll be moving forward with our class being virtual, and also to share a few thoughts about Goethe's Faust. That's the text that I decided we needed to remove from the syllabus because of the extended spring break. And yet it's so important and so inspirational for many of the later world writers we'll be considering that I want to make sure that at least some of its key points are very much in your mind, because I think it'll help you appreciate the subsequent texts a little bit more. But what I wanted really to say to you first and foremost, right at the beginning, is I really hope that you're well, and I really hope that you're safe. These are very challenging. For some of us, it's simply a matter of being anxious for other people at a distance. For some people, it's going to be very much closer to home. And my hope is that you have the support network in place that's going to help you get through these strange days, that you'll reach out to resources here at UT or wherever it is that you find yourself. Of course, a warm invitation always to contact either me and or to contact your TAs about anything that's academic with which we could be helpful, or if you simply wanted to talk about something that's a little bit different from all the things that we're facing in the world just at the moment. So with that very much in mind, a fundamental and primary encouragement to take care and to take care of yourselves. I want just to share the screen with you here, mention a little bit about the logistics and pragmatics of how we're going to go forward. And then, as I said, chat just a little bit about that German play, about a college professor who sells his soul to the devil and what price it is that he decides he's willing to pay. So I'm going to share the screen with you now so that you'll be able to see some materials which are actually already very much available online for you, but which are also, I think, going to be really helpful if we go through kind of one by one. So the first part of our conversation today is about going online with world literature and what that might look like and what that might entail. Just so you have a visual to make this as clear as possible, fundamentally, your go-to place for all content for this class is going to remain the Purple and Gold website. Please do go there. All the readings are going to be there. All the other information is going to be there. It's also going to be a kind of bulletin board for updates that I'm going to be sharing with you as well. So what will we do going forward? All course content, that is the films, the music, the recordings, the readings, etc. Please also check Canvas regularly and stay current with your Canvas email for important announcements and emails. I'm not sure whether you check your email on Canvas constantly. Please at least set up a forward or go to Canvas. I would really recommend every couple of days. Our situation, as I say here, is an evolving one. Plans may change at any point. We may have different or other resources available. So please do keep checking, because that will be the way in which I and your TAs will be communicating with you throughout the rest of the semester. So if we go to that Purple and Gold website, I just want to open that up for you for a moment here. It looks more or less the same, but it also looks slightly different. I'm going to talk about these just in a moment, but anything that you see right at the top here is kind of a bulletin board for us. So if you clicked on this link, and I've tried to make them orange and pink so that they stand out for you, this is where I will always have announcements for you about what's going forward. So it opens just to a simple PDF, and please look at the date at the top. This one is from just yesterday, and that means that it is as current as possible. It has all the information that you need, including the way that office hours will work and the hot links for that, and some of the things I'm going to go through today. Everything that is on this document is actually what I'm going to put in today's PowerPoint. So please feel free to use that as a kind of information hub. The second thing that I want you to pay attention to just here is these are hot links on Zoom to my virtual office hours. You will hear from or have already heard from your TAs about their office hours, and they should also have forwarded my coordinates to you as well. When you click on those links, it will immediately open the UT version of Zoom, send you to a waiting room, and I will be with you shortly. First come, first serve, but as people enter, I know when they have entered, and I'll just work my way through, and we will see each other face to face on the screen. I'll talk a little bit more about office hours just in a moment, but please do get in the habit of clicking here on the purple page for contacting me, for updates about the class. And then the third link here, and I'll bring it up again and talk about it in a moment, is to the YouTube channel, which is where every one of our lectures, including the one that I am recording right at the moment, will be posted. So with that in mind, let me take us back to the PowerPoint. So what will we be doing going forward? There will be no lecture on Tuesday, the 31st of March, as you already know. There will also be no second midterm on Thursday, the 2nd of April, as you already know. So those are the two things that have been eliminated. What will we do for going forward in the sense of what will we actually do, not what will we eliminate? The second batch of journals should have been due last week. I moved that due date, but the second batch of journals will be due on Canvas on Thursday, the 2nd of April at 9:30 a.m. I'm happy to say that if you get it to us on Thursday at any point, because you may or may not get this information fully in time, we will count it as on time. Just to be very clear with you, it should include 6 entries, 2 entries for Dante, 1 entry for Montaigne, 2 entries for Shakespeare, and 1 entry for Basho. That makes a total of 6 entries. Faust has been removed in reading it. I'm going to say 2 words about it later, but Faust is not something that you're responsible for. I hope you do read it someday. It's like an amazing play, but you do not have to read it for this class. Regarding the second batch of journals, that assignment remains unchanged. The third batch of journals will be due uploaded through Canvas on the 30th of April at 9:30 a.m. That batch of journals should have 8 entries, 1 for Pushkin, for Baudelaire, for Proust, for Woolf, for Borges, and Garcia Marquez. Each of those has 1 entry, and you should have 2 entries for Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. What else will we do going forward? And this has to do with the lectures. The first pre-recorded lecture, which is the one that you're listening to at the moment, will be available on the 2nd of April. It covers logistics, which is just what I'm talking about at the moment, and it gives a brief comment on relevant issues in Faust. That's what I'll finish with today. The first regular lecture will be on Pushkin. It will be available on 7th of April at 9:30 a.m. for you to hear next Tuesday. All of the lectures for the rest of the semester will be pre-recorded on Zoom, and they will be posted on our custom YouTube channel. For example, they will have a title like April 7th to give you the date and Pushkin to give you the author. You do not need to watch or listen to the lecture during our usual class time, but please do access them as close to the scheduled date as possible so as to be able to answer the TopCat questions, which I'll get to just in a moment. So just calling up that YouTube channel again. Absolutely forward, UT Austin World Lectures, Spring 2020. There's a hot link on the Purple and Gold website. At the moment, there are no videos here because you're listening to the first of those videos, but there'll be a queue of videos, each one clearly titled with the name of the author and the date of the lecture. You should be able to open them up easily and have the opportunity to view them and think about some of the issues and suggestions that they raise and give. As I said, you do not need to watch them right at the time. I wanted to make sure that if you had limited and or variable access to the internet and or different obligations because of the situation in which we find ourselves globally, you did not have to be synchronously, that is to say, at the same time, connecting with me and the lectures. But I mentioned Top Hat questions. So let me talk about Top Hat just for a moment. All Top Hat questions will be made available in sync with the lectures. That is to say, they will be available on Tuesday at 9:30 starting. In order to achieve credit, you need to make them correct. That's the same it's been all along. I'm not assessing whether you got the right answer, and many of them don't have right answers because they're open-ended. I'm assessing whether you did them or not. If you complete all the Top Hat questions, you receive your credit for attendance and participation portion of your grade. Top Hat questions will be made available as soon as the lecture is online, and they will remain accessible for 48 hours after the lecture. I do that because I want you to view the lectures, interact with them, answer the questions in real time so that we still can take the material of the course and spread it out in a meaningful and manageable way over the remaining 6 weeks of the semester. Once again, attendance will not be taken. If you have any issues with Top Hat, technically, please get in touch with them, as I've suggested all along. If you have any questions or concerns about the way we're using Top Hat effectively as homework now, please don't hesitate to send those to me or to your TA. What will we do going forward as regards office hours? University of Texas has eliminated all face-to-face, and actually if you happen still to be in Austin, we are all under a stay-at-home order here, as are many places in the world. That being the case, nevertheless, your TAs and I plan to keep our regular office hours, and we'll be using Zoom, as you might have guessed, and probably like many of your other faculty. You will receive an invitation and instructions from your TA. You should already have received via your TA the links and the details about my Zoom meetings. Those are also, again, posted on the front page of the Blue and Gold website. Just to be clear, if you prefer to contact us by emailing us through Canvas, that is absolutely appropriate. Please use whatever is comfortable to you to get in touch with us about anything related to the class. The two things I think you may be most interested in hearing about, in addition to the day-to-day logistics, are the following. What's happening to the last of the midterms, and how are your grades going to be calculated? So what are we going to do about that last midterm? Very simply, there is no last midterm. Instead, there is a final assignment, and it is due at the same time that you would have finished your midterm. That is to say, on Thursday, the 7th of May at 11 a.m. What will the final assignment be? It will be a short, open book, take-home written assignment. It will comprise a single essay prompt that will invite you to write about your two favorite texts. The only constraints on which text you pick is I would like you to pick one that's from early, before spring break in the syllabus, and one that's from later, after spring break. The goal here is to get you to think about the course as a whole. The format for that question, just if you want to begin thinking about it, will be something like section 1 in that third midterm that you're not taking. So if you check the third sample midterm, maybe you already had a look at it. Section 1 is a short question, and each year I change up the gambit, but what it asks you to do is to pick a text you particularly found impactful. You enjoyed it. You were startled by it. You thought it was fascinating. It spoke to you in some way. And to explain on you why it is important in the ways that it is. The difference in the prompt you're going to get